for a ban on this radical outfit continues to grow, Republic TV has learned that the MHA is looking at PFI's links with radical outfits like Simi and also the SDPI. In fact, Republic TV's Shravan Sen is now joining us live for more on this exclusive story that he's breaking on Republic TV. Shravan, tell us more, give us a sense of just what is it that the MHA and the NIA are looking at as far as PFI's terror links are concerned.
Well, there has been an extensive investigation that has been carried out by the National Investigating Agency. So much so, 4 cases that have been cited by the NIA to the MHA with regards to the demand the demand that's been growing to ban PFI. We're given to understand 4 important cases have been mentioned, which essentially includes the killing of an RSS member, Rudresh, in Bengaluru. This was a case which was registered in 2016, and thereafterwards at least 5 people were arrested. Apart from that, we're also given to understand the other cases where essentially the link of PFI, SDPI also comes in, which has now been under the scanner. That happens to be that of the ISIS module, which was basically targeting locations in South India. We're given to understand in that too, the NIA has essentially, they have given an outline as to what their investigation really talks about and what they have found so far. To quickly take you through one of the most important cases where essentially the NIA believes that there is a link of PFI as well as the SDPI is that of Rudresh. Now, this was an RSS member who was killed, and I'm just quoting from this particular charge sheet that has been filed by the NIA. NIA clearly talks about saying that all the 5 arrested accused persons are members of PFI and its affiliated political organization, that's the SDPI. Their photos prominently figure in the posters of the SDPI pasted in public places in Bengaluru city. Now, what is very important to note here, Shivani, is that clearly in this particular charge sheet that has been filed with regards to the Rudresh murder, the NIA essentially writes that the PFI has been targeting RSS and like-minded organizations as part of the larger plan to achieve their objective to strike terror among the members of that organization. The killing was a clear act of terror with the intention to strike terror among a section of the people. This was achieved by the broad daylight murder of RSS member in uniform using a lethal weapon on 16th of October 2017. Now, this is a case which has been extensively written in the dossier that was basically submitted before the MHA, because remember, it's still under consideration with regards to the ban of PFI. MHA still is under consideration, and that is the reason why we are now given to understand that each of these cases which have been investigated by the National Investigating Agency, they have included all of that in the dossier that has been submitted to the MHA. Also, they have basically outlined the very fact, the link between Simi and PFI. They've given details with regards to members of Simi who are now part of the PFI, beginning with the chairman of PFI, thereafterwards the vice chairman, and also with regards to the SDPI president, who are all members of Simi at some point or the other, and they are now basically essentially members of PFI. That certainly raises a cause of concern as far as the investigating agency is concerned. And clearly in this particular dossier, you have essentially the details of how each of these members, what role they have essentially played, and why NIA essentially believes that this is an act of terror with regards to cases like that of Rudresh and various training camps that have essentially been organized, and all of them now under the scanner. What also acts as some sort of a boost as far as the MHA is concerned is that of the conviction which has been upheld by a court as far as this particular case is concerned. So clearly, with regards to the legality of this particular case, that also there is some amount of strength that has been achieved by the MHA as far as this entire demand for ban on PFI is concerned. So clearly, with regards to the link of PFI, SDPI as well as Simi, it becomes very, very clear that at some point or the other in that particular dossier, there have been constant references that have been given with regards to these cases.
Absolutely. So this will obviously have great political implications as well. Shravan, let's not forget, of course, because there is a growing fight in southern states, especially right now in Karnataka and, of course, in Kerala, between the right and the left. But just to highlight what Shravan has just reported, especially when it comes to political murders and in specification, the murder of RS member Rudresh, as Shravan was mentioning, this charge sheet says that all 5 arrested were members of PFI and its political wing STPI, none of them had any personal enmity, and this was clearly an act of terror because he was killed solely because of his association to a particular organization, the RSS in this case. Let's go across to our South India Bureau Chief Pooja Prasanna as well. Pooja, politically massive implications because the question of political killings, especially those targeting RSS members, has been raised very vociferously, especially over the last few months.
And there have been several arrests also right here in Karnataka, Shivani, by the Karnataka government, which has convicted several members of PFI, not just one, but several murders. The latest one, of course, that rocked the coastal part of Karnataka was that of Deepak Rao. And the Home Minister of Karnataka has gone on record to say that they've arrested 6 to 7 PFI members as those who assaulted this particular Hindu activist as well. But the most prominent of them all, of course, was the murder of Rudresh, as Shavan has been reporting. He was an RSS member in the heart of Bangalore, was murdered in broad daylight. And we understand we've accessed several reports both by the Karnataka government agencies, be it the police department or even the NIA, where they've specifically said that the PFI was involved. And it wasn't just, 1 or 2 members, but the district president of Bangalore of PFI has now been convicted, Shivani, of murdering an RSS person. And the same pattern can be seen there. There was no personal enmity, as many here would have you believe. In fact, we are given to understand that the last words before they hacked him to death in broad daylight was that you're a kafir and you deserve to die. And given the kind of pattern that we've seen in many of these murders, where people are hacked with absolutely no personal reasons, but because of ideology, how long can PFI be let off the hook is the question that we're asking today.
Absolutely. And of course, if you look at it in the context of the terrorism barb that the Karnataka Chief Minister threw at the BJP and the RSS, it could well come back to haunt them because several of these cases need resolution as well from Bengaluru. Pooja and Shavan, thanks a lot for joining us. This